Freddy Adu was born June 2nd, 1989, in Tema, Ghana. He moved to Maryland with his family when he was just 5 years old. Coming from Tema, Ghana, Freddy brought his passion and love for soccer as he grew up playing that week in and week out while growing up in Ghana. It would be bringing that passion and love for soccer to Maryland that he would attract the attention of so many high school and so many college, high school scouts all around the soccer community, and everyone talking about the promising young player that he was. He played for Heights High School in Maryland, and his performances with Heights High School Maryland earned him a spot in the 2004 MLS draft at just 14 years old. At just 14, becoming the youngest player ever to be in the MLS draft. He would be drafted to DC United and even labeled the next Pelé because of his amazing performances with DC United. And sure enough, his performances at DC United would not go unnoticed as he would soon sign for Real Salt Lake. In 2007, after being at DC United from 2004 to 2006. While being at Real Salt Lake in 2007, his time there would be cut short because he would soon attract the attention of Portuguese side Benfica in 2007, securing a $2 million move to the Portuguese Giants, playing in the Champions League. Freddy would become a fan favorite among the supporters and play with some top-class players that helped his development. Even though he was not in the starting lineup as often as he would have wanted to be, Freddy was determined to keep working hard, and whatever minutes he was given from Benfica, he was going to make it the best he could, making the best impact he could with ever how many minutes he had. And he was doing a great job, and fans really took a liking to him, making him a fan favorite. While in Benfica, Freddy did an interview with Graham Bensinger on his show. Graham Bensinger sat down with Freddy Adu, and Freddy Adu shared not only his journey as a young player up until he joined Benfica, but also sharing his struggles he endured while he first signed as a professional to DC United and how his performances with Benfica were going at the time.
You said it felt like you were overcoached then. How so?
I just felt like there was too many instructions. Obviously, when I was playing, I'd always been the kind of guy that I never was coached much by any coach. I just sort of went out there and did, you know what I'm saying? We had a game plan, but I went out there and just sort of let instincts and just let it happen naturally. At DC, at some point, I just felt like there was so many restrictions on what to do, and just I didn't have the freedom to be myself, and I wasn't myself out there. I wasn't effective because I was thinking too much. I always felt like when I got the ball, like I was like, sort of like a robot. Get it, pass it, get it, pass it. It wasn't fluid for me. It didn't happen naturally.
And so it was likely because the pressure was on more that sort of drove you to perform better at this U20 tournament?
Yeah, I just really wanted to prove and just showcase. I just really wanted to show everybody, what I had, because I always felt like people never really got to see me be me out there on the field. That's how I always felt, and I like to express myself a lot. Sometimes, yeah, maybe sometimes a little too much, and sometimes not enough. But you just express yourself. That's what got me to where I am, and I just felt like I lost that. Somewhere down the road. I lost that, and it was just a matter of just building your confidence back up and just going out there and doing it. I just really wanted to just go out there and just show everyone that I can play this, I can play this game, and I can do it against, some of the best in the world.
How would you describe your play there?
I think I had a pretty good tournament. I think I did all right. What made me most happy was how well the team did. How well we did. I mean, we could have won the whole thing. I mean, a few bounces here and there, and we win the whole thing. I mean, that's how good our team was.
You vaguely alluded to this. How much was it almost a make or break tournament for you?
It was a make or break tournament. It was. If I did not do well in that tournament, I wouldn't have gotten a chance to fulfill my dream of going to Europe. It's as simple as that.
Period?
Period.
Why?
Period. Because I wasn't having a great season in MLS. Now when I think about it now, Peter Novak, the way, everything I went through at DC, it has made me a much, much better player and a much, much stronger and better person. I mean, that prepared me for the next step, for the next level. Because over in Europe, your dialect with your coach, it's almost non-existent, man. It's like, especially my coach believes in, I'm the coach, you're the player, I coach, you play. You work hard, keep your mouth shut, I'll make the decisions. At the end of the day, if the team wins, everybody gets credit for it, but if the team loses, the coach takes the blame. So you respect your coach's decisions and you just move on from there. I want to challenge myself. I want to play at the highest possible level. I want to, at the end of my career, I want people to look back and say, I don't want to have any regrets at the end of my career. I want people to look back and say, this guy went out there and gave it his all. And, my goal really is to become one of the best players in the world. And I think I have a good shot of achieving that. In a way, when I look at it, that's sort of the beauty about it, because I want to go out there and prove to people that Americans can play this sport, and prove to people that they should never take us for granted.
You mentioned training with Manchester United last winter. How much incentive did that give you to go over to Europe?
I mean, that was the best European trip I had taken in my whole life. Just being there for 2 weeks and just looking at these guys and training with them day in and day out. I mean, that was amazing. And that was it. That was it. I have to go to Europe. I want to go to Europe because this is where, this is the big time.
You're swarmed by 100 cameras when you arrive at the airport there in Portugal. Describe the scene.
I don't know. I was just, I get out of the plane and I get my baggage and everything, and I'm walking. I did not expect that. I didn't expect it. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing. Just walked out and everybody just, they just rushed you, and it was amazing. That's how I was just like, man. I mean, this is big time. I mean, there's no joking around here. You come here, you got to perform.
Explain the difference in soccer's popularity between Portugal and the U.S.
Let's just say it's just the biggest thing in the country. There's a fight every game by the fans. It's just, I don't know. It's the biggest thing.
What was it like when you first met your new teammates?
That was amazing. Especially a guy like Rui Costa, who's a legend. The guy is one of the best players, in the world, world-class player, and I was really looking forward to going to meet him. And I just got a chance to meet him. He's actually my quote-unquote mentor right now. I just ask him a lot of questions, watch him a lot, pay attention to a lot of things he does, because that's where you want to be one day. You want to be a world-class player, and you got to learn from a world-class player. And I happen to have one on my team, and you got to take advantage of that.
What does Benfica expect out of you as a player?
Obviously, to be the guy to help them come in and help them win games, help them score goals. Whether if it's me scoring it myself or assisting the goal. I know that's what I was brought in for.
How does that compare to what was expected out of you when you first entered the MLS?
I was expected to be Pele, man, and no chance. No one's Pele. I'm me, and that's that. Obviously, I sort of, as a 14-year-old, I was sort of, to be honest, and it just. Maybe my head was a little too big at that time. Maybe I did buy into that a little bit, but I was 14.
How would you assess your play thus far?
So far, so good. So far, so good. I really don't think a lot of people expected me to be doing as well as I'm doing. when I first went there. And I have to admit, I didn't think I was going to be doing as well as I did.
What's your most memorable moment from your time thus far with Benfica?
Just scoring in the last minutes of the game. I've had some last minute goals so far that have been an amazing feeling. Just the crowd just go crazy. But I would say my best feeling is we were playing against a team called Maritimo, and we went down 1-0. We equalized. It was 1-1 in the second half, and a player on my team got a red card. And so we were playing 10 against 11, and I didn't think I was going to go in the game. And the coach put me in. I only played 8 minutes that game. The coach put me in, and I got the winning goal in the last minute. And the stadium the stadium just erupted. And I would say that was the best feeling I've had so far with Benfica, because that's what you dream of, scoring a winning goal.
How about how you've most improved since coming to Europe?
Just overall knowledge of the game. That's just the way the game is played. My shooting has gotten better. My awareness has gotten better. I think my overall, just overall, everything about the game I've improved to a certain extent.
What do you envision the World Cup being like?
I think the U.S. team, our team has a pretty good shot at doing well in this next World Cup. Most of these guys are in Europe playing and doing well, and that's what we need. I think that's what we need. We need to be out there competing in the world's toughest leagues, and being in a culture where it's all about soccer. And I think we're doing that now, and I think it's gonna play a big part in our success. I feel really blessed, and I don't want to let I've been blessed with something, and I don't want to let myself down. Most importantly, my family, because I'm always getting advice, obviously, from my mom, my family members. They think that I've been the guy in the family that's been blessed with something special, and they don't want to.
Determined to get first-team football and get a starting lineup place, Freddy went on loan to AS Monaco in France for the 2008 to 2009 season. His good performances with Monaco while on loan earned him a spot in the USA national team, playing in the Gold Cup that summer in 2009 before he returned to training with Benfica. Sadly, again struggling to break into the first team and coaches not favoring him, Freddy was loaned out to Portuguese side Belenenses. Freddy was loaned out to Belenenses for the 2009-2010 season. Freddy made his league start for the Portuguese side in a 1-0 loss on October 13th, 2009. He sadly got injured just before halftime, and his loan spell with the club was cut short, and he soon returned to Benfica for training. With his return to Benfica in December, with his loan spell with the Portuguese side cut short, Freddy would soon be loaned out again to Greek side Aris, where he soon linked up with his US men's national teammate Eddie Johnson. Freddy would achieve success with Aris this season, helping the club in the chase for Champions League football. Despite finishing 5th, qualifying for Europa League, it was still a big achievement to get European football, as well as helping the club to the Greek Cup final, losing to Panathinaikos. Regardless of losing in the final, it was still an achievement for the club to get the Greek Cup final and get European football in the Europa League. And Freddy would become a fan favorite among the supporters, surprising fans and surprising everybody and showing everybody what he was capable of doing with his skill. Around this time, the media was giving him a lot of heat for not living up to his potential, being the next Pele. But Freddy only concentrated on one thing, playing his football and making the best out of the minutes he had on the pitch, making him the best he could make it, and keep on showing enthusiasm and enjoying playing his football. After his loan spell in Greece, Freddy again was loaned out in 2011 to Turkish second division side Çaykur Rizespor. Freddy joined in the winter transfer window, and he made his league debut in February 2011 in a 2-0 win where he assisted 2 of the goals in the 2-0 win, and he was given the Man of the Match award. And 2 weeks later, he scored his first goal in a 1-0 victory. After 4 months of his contract Benfica running out playing for the Portuguese side, Freddy Adu was released from Benfica by the summer of 2011, having played 11 games and scoring 2 goals, with a lot of them coming off the bench and being a fan favorite among the supporters. In the summer of 2011, Freddy had an interest to join the MLS side Philadelphia Union, for the coach Peter Nowak being a key influence on the reason why he came to the MLS again, because he worked with Peter Nowak when he was at DC United. In this next video is an insider to Freddy how he feels about returning to the MLS since he left for the first time when he was 14 to go to Benfica, and what are the things that he's learned that made him a better player on and off the field. Enjoy the clip.
Just to have an opportunity to be back in the league, to play for, for Peter, for the coaching staff. I mean, it's great. I know John Hartworth as well, and just these are people I'm familiar with, and I've had success with. Obviously I had kept in touch with Peter for a while. I mean, I was talking to him a couple years ago, and just keeping in touch, and we were always kind of joking around. Like, I was like, yeah, Peter, I want to come play, for you at in Philadelphia. Come on, what's up? When are you gonna sign me? Like, just joking around. And this was an opportunity that that really appealed to me, and I'm just happy that it all worked out. For one thing, just older, more mature, know how to handle myself better on and off the field. I've learned a lot more, about the game of soccer. I've had a lot of experiences, over the last few years, and it's been it's been tough at times. But once you go through that, of course, you appreciate everything, not just the game. I mean, everything. Just being out there on the field, just playing. I mean, you appreciate that more. I mean, it's you have to work extremely hard for that. I mean, it's one thing just training all the time, but just getting an opportunity to play in games, I mean, there's nothing like that. Before I got back in the national team, I was going on loan all the time. I was playing in Turkey. I was, in the second division on loan in Turkey, and a lot of people would, oh, his career's over. He's this, he's finished, all of that. And then, I just basically put my head down, kept my head down, and just decided I'm just gonna work hard to get myself back to where I need to be. And that's all I needed, man. I just went there and just worked hard every single day, and you know what? Everything worked out. I did well for the team, helped the team, and that caught Bob's eye. It did, because all he ever wanted was players that weren't playing and helping their team. That's made all the difference in my career so far. I was surprised, to get that call in for the Gold Cup. I really was, but it really, really woke me up. It put a pep in my step. I was really it motivated me a lot to just keep working hard and keep doing the same things I've been doing, and keep getting better. The Olympics has always been a goal of mine. I had an amazing time, at the last Olympics. It was unbelievable. I mean, it's like nothing I've ever been, to, and just to get a chance to represent your country on a stage like that, be around great athletes, from every different sport. It was amazing. I always wanted to be part of the Olympic team. Myself, Josie Altidore, we've been talking about this forever. We want to be there, we want to play, and this is something we want to do. And it was great because in my talks with Jurgen, he mentioned that too. He mentioned the Olympic team, and I said, obviously that's a goal of mine, and I'm really looking forward to it. If everything works out, I would definitely love to be there. You always have to take positives from the tough parts of life and moments of life. And I'm a much better player now. I see the game better. I feel the game better, and hopefully that translates well, into helping the team here. This is a very good team. I mean, the team's only one game out of first place with the game in hand. I mean, it was a very good team. So obviously coming in here, you know, you don't come in expecting, hey, I'm gonna come in here, I'm just gonna play. I'm not, you know, come in here, work hard, get yourself in the 11, you know, and if you're not in the 11, when you get a chance to come in the game, you make a difference. You have to. There's nothing is different here than it was for me when I was in Europe. You go in there, you work hard, you do well in training, you'll play. That's just the way I've approached everything so far. And you know what? It's worked out, and I'm going to keep approaching it like that.
Signing for the Philadelphia Union in 2011, Freddy worked his socks off to prove his critics wrong that were saying negative things about him. He worked really, really hard to prove his critics wrong, and he got a call up to the U.S. men's national team to play in the Gold Cup final. He was involved in the 2 goals in the USA's loss to Mexico in the 4-2 loss. Freddy assisted the first goal by crossing the ball to Michael Bradley in the corner, and he also assisted Landon Donovan's goal to make it goal number 2 by being involved in the goal that allowed Landon Donovan to score. USA went on to lose 4-2 in the final in 2011, but Freddy Adu, working his socks off to get a spot in that final and get a spot in that tournament with that team, is an example of his hard work and his determination. Being at Philadelphia Union from 2011 to 2013, his performances earned him a contract back in Europe with Brazilian side Bahia. Freddy signed there in April 2013 and was released there from the Brazilian side in November 2013. In February 2014, Freddy received a trial with Blackpool Football Club, determined to get back in the national team picture to be a part of the USA squad for the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil. While he was on trial at Blackpool, Freddy had the chance to sit down with Blackpool and share how it feels to celebrate his 10-year anniversary of going pro, because 10 years prior he joined MLS at 14 years old, and he shared about why he decided to go pro, and he talked about how playing with Benfica helped him as a player, and what are some of the players that he played with helping him with his player development.
So Freddie,
Yes.
can we sum up in a few words your time at Blackpool?
I've loved it. You know, the guys have been great. The coaches have been great. They've all welcomed me, and I'm happy. I'm happy here. You know, I'm learning a lot. The training here is very intense. It's different to what I'm used to, and I absolutely love it because that's what I need as a player. When you're in a place where the guys make you part of the team, make you part of the group, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel comfortable, and in turn, you get out there and you work hard to improve as a player, and also to help in any way you can.
So why did you choose Blackpool out of all the clubs?
Well, I mean, it was just an opportunity that came by. The staff here had a mutual friend, that's friends with my agent, and it just kind of sort of worked out that way. And obviously, to get a chance to come here and train in England is something that I won't pass up. So I took full advantage of that. I love this, I love football in England, and that's in America. All we watch is football in England, and it'll be a dream come true to play here someday. I don't know when that'll be, but it'll definitely be a dream come true, and I'll do whatever it takes to make that happen.
So what's the personal target for you right now then?
Well, right now, I'm really not in a rush to really get anything done per se right this second, but I need to make the right decision for my career as well. I haven't always made the right decisions as far as choices of teams that I've gone to in the past, so I have to make the right decision this time. And that's why when I heard of this opportunity, I wanted to come here, check it out, see if it fits, see how it is and everything.
So I suppose it must feel like a long time ago since you were kind of that teenage sensation, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm only 24 now, but it does feel like a long time ago. I mean, it's actually 10 years. 10 years in March when I made my debut, actually. So yes, man, it's been a long time, and you know, I've learned a lot through that journey. There's been good times and there's been bad times, but you know, I'm glad that I experienced that at such a young age. That being 24 now, I'm still, you know, still young enough to correct a lot of the mistakes I made.
So what was it like being so well known at the age of 14?
It was a lot of pressure. That really was. You know, as a 14, 15, 16-year-old, I mean, you're young, you're immature, and you kind of get caught up in that a little bit. Thankfully, I had, you know, my family and my friends, and I had the right people around me to steer me in the right direction, because, you know, there was a point where, you know, honestly, I did get caught up in it, and, you know, maybe I wasn't training as hard as I should have, and, you know, it really, it hurt me. As a, you know, it hurt my development as well, and you know, and as I said, at that point, you just got to be real with yourself, and you know, having the right people around you helps a lot, and you know, thankfully I did, and you know, they steered me in the right direction, and you know, making the right decisions as far as on and off the field, and you know, et cetera, say no to a lot of the interviews, and just kind of focus on just being a football player, because that's all I want to do. Is I want to be a professional football player, and you know, not a star off the field.
So can you tell us a bit about the Super Draft, which we believe you were involved with as well?
Yeah, I mean, the Super Draft, it's like the MLS. Are you talking about the MLS Super Draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a draft, you know, of players. It's mostly college players, actually. And you know, for me, I was living down in Florida with the it was the under 17 national team boys, where you go down there, you live there for 2 years, you all train together. It's kind of like a boarding school / you know, training year round. And you know, after that, you choose to go to college or professional. And you know, some of the guys chose to go to college and get their degree and play in college, because if you are part of that group, you will get a full scholarship to essentially whatever college you want to, because you know, you are, I guess, one of the best young players in the country. So but me, I decided to go pro. You know, what most people don't know is that I decided to go pro because my family was real poor, and you know, at that point, my she was a single mother working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and you know, what am I gonna do? Say no to a you know, millions of dollars, you know, at that age, while my family is struggling? No.
Obviously, part of that money was a huge Nike deal, which you signed.
Right. You know, growing up, we always saw Nike endorse guys like Michael Jordan and et cetera, and it's like I wanted to always be a part of that. So when Nike came in and you know, give you a multi-million-dollar contract, you're like, yeah, you know, what are you gonna say? You're like, yeah, you know, I'm in. So you know, that was nice. I've been with Nike ever since. They've been a great supporter of mine through good times and bad times. They've always been there, and so you know, I'm happy about that.
And in England, you're quite well known for being a big hit on Football Manager.
Yes, actually,
lots of people.
I get a lot of tweets on Twitter talking about calling me a Football Manager legend, and I'm like, man, I wish it was like that in real life. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I personally never played that, but I have a lot of friends that did, and they've told me about that, so that's pretty cool.
Brilliant. So obviously you've got 2 goals for your country so far. That's something you'd hope to build on?
Yes, of course. You know, but like I said, it's first things first. You know, you have to find the right situation, the right club, and you have to develop as a player. You have to play.
It's a big year with it being the World Cup as well, so if you were to get a contract somewhere, it could be quite important.
Exactly. It's very important, you know, and you know, you never know. You play well for the month, you know, for the next couple of months, and you're in camp for the World Cup. You just never know. So you know, you got to make the right decision, and you got to do what you have to do to get on the field and play. And when you get on the field, you have to make a difference on the field. You got to stay there.
So whilst you were at DC, is that when you first got noticed for the America squad?
I was at DC. You know, But actually, the coach at the time, Bruce Arena, came down to Florida to watch the U17s train all the time, and that's actually when he actually first saw me. But I went into my first camp. Yeah, when I was with DC. That was after we won the championship my first year. So that was after that. It was a January camp, and yeah, it was my first time in camp, and I was quite. It was it was quite an experience because there's something I wanted to do my whole life. I was getting recruited at the time by Ghana as well, but at the end of the day, you know, I decided to stay with the United States because, they had helped me and my family a lot, and I felt like it was a great way to repay their faith.
And I suppose one of the other big career moves, moving to Benfica.
Oh yeah.
How'd you find that?
That was incredible. I mean, playing with guys like Rui Costa and Gomez and David Luiz was there, Di Maria was there. I mean, it was incredible, and just being around all these top players and learning, it was amazing. And that's one of those experiences I will always look back on and cherish because not a lot of people get to do that, and I got a chance to do that when I was 18. So it was definitely amazing. Although I don't think I was mature enough at the time to be on such a big club. I played, I did well, but I needed more games.
And I suppose it was just maybe not all a bit too much too soon, was it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I just think you in life you just need to experience things, to learn from them. You can't sit back and you need to be. Sometimes you need to experience it firsthand, and that's what I did. And as I said, I'm just glad that I experienced all of that at such an early age, rather than being in my 20s experiencing that, because then by the time you realize, or by the time you get to a point where you can learn from all that, maybe it might be too late. But for me, I'm lucky. Like I said, I'm 24 and I'm still young, and I can, I'm still looking forward to the future.
Even though Freddy passed the trial with Blackpool were not able to give him a contract, but he was given another opportunity at a trial with Dutch side, AZ Alkmaar. Freddy was hoping to use this opportunity with AZ Alkmaar to get an opportunity not just with the club again, but also get an opportunity to be in the World Cup squad for the USA in the 2014 FIFA World Cup. But sadly, AZ Alkmaar were unable to give Freddy a contract, and he was yet again a free agent, not being able to participate in the World Cup. Sad, discouraged, Freddy didn't know what to do. However, a few days after USA's loss to Belgium in the World Cup in 2014, Freddy Adu got a comment on one of his Instagram pictures from a soccer fan that motivated him. And after Freddy Adu received that comment from that soccer fan, things began to change. Freddy was uplifted by that soccer fan and his positive comment. He surely, soon enough, got a contract back in Europe. Freddy Adu has been inspired to start his own coaching business in Maryland, where he coaches young youth players and sharing all his experiences in the game to inspire and help them achieve their dream like he achieved his dream.
There you go! There you go!
With Freddy Adu inspiring and helping young players, he sat down with Charlie Davis in 2023 to share how he's at peace with his career.
You were Neymar, you were Messi.
No, I know. I know. I know. Look, I was given a God-given, talent, and I did the most I could with it. But some decisions I made and certain things that I did prevented me from basically just realizing it to the fullest potential. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, I did everything I wanted to. No, I didn't. But everything happens for a reason. I learned from it. I am, like I said earlier that I'm trying to pass on all these things to these kids now, because I've seen it from both sides. I have. You've seen it when you're on top, and you've seen it when things aren't going right and you're at the bottom. So I've seen it from both sides.
Hi everyone, hope you enjoyed that video. I made this video in honor of my late friend Khalid Skirvin, who passed away in Maryland in 2024 from an accident. Khalid was a soccer player for DC Cedric. He played for BCC High School varsity soccer team. I met him my sophomore year of high school. He inspired me. He said I inspired him. He's like, Josh, because of you, I got an MLS contract with your help and your guidance. I said, no, man, it was all you. You made it happen for yourself. But sadly, because of the personal circumstances in his life, Khalid was not able to pursue that contract. Everything that was going on, he wasn't able to pursue his dream to play for that MLS side he got the contract for. But he said to me that Freddy Adu's story and everything that was shared in this video to you guys inspired him. So I hope Freddy Adu's story and everything that was shared in this video inspired all of you, just like how it inspired my friend Khalid. Follow me on Instagram at JoshBertram4 on Instagram. DM me if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to share in videos in the future, or anything you'd like me to make coming up. And stay real.